Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. I was originally going to write this as a blog post, and I still might, but I just honestly thought it might be easier to talk through it, so I'm going to talk through it, and maybe I'll write it as a blog post too, who the hell knows. But anyway, welcome to the live stream. I'm so freaking excited right now. Today is my 6-year Quitiversary, so it is 6 years to the day that I quit my full-time day job to take my business full-time. So freaking excited about this. Like, it's crazy to me that it's been 6 years, because I honestly feel like it's been more actually, but I also feel like it's been so fast. So it's pretty freaking awesome. But every year I always look back on, what have I learned? What stuff do I wish I knew back in the beginning? And it's funny because I was reading through all my old Facebook, how Facebook shows you memories from like years before or whatever. And today I was looking through it, and it was showing me my posts from previous, years on this date, where I was like, hey, it's my 5-year Quitiversary, it's my 4-year Quitiversary. And to sort of see the different things I was saying along the way, and the different things that I learned that I thought were the most important things to tell myself back when I first started, it's funny to see how they've changed as the years have gone on, and how I've, sort of transitioned and really grown to where I am now. So I actually have 7 things that I'm going to tell you about, but I'm not going to tell you one of the things until tomorrow. So today I'm going to tell you my top 6 things that I would tell myself if I was starting again back, if it was 6 years ago, or even if it wasn't. So if I'm starting over again, or if I was going to start over again, these are the 6 things I would tell myself. Like I said, I have 7, but I'm going to save the number 1 thing for tomorrow, because I actually have something really badass freebie that's coming tomorrow, and I'm going to tie that into the number 1 thing I would tell myself if I was starting over again. But today I'm going to tell you the 6 things. So if you have questions, let me know. I know most of you will watch this as a replay once I send it out to my email list. So if that's the case, feel free to comment after the fact, because I always come back to check the comments. So, okay. These are the 6 things that I would do over again, or that I would tell myself in the beginning if I knew that stuff already. So hopefully this is helpful to you, because I think the problem is that 6 years ago, if I had been told this stuff, I probably wouldn't have listened. So hopefully you'll listen to me, because when I say this stuff, it's not just stuff I'm making up. This is shit that I've learned over the last 6 years of being a full-time entrepreneur, and really just doing this stuff for real and living my dream every single day. So take this stuff to heart, because it matters, and it does make a huge difference in how quickly you can create the success that you want. And before I get into it, I also wanted to mention, because I didn't want to forget this, if you're not already in my Dream Life or Bust Facebook group, it's a free group, so you can join it anytime. I'm doing free giveaways every day this week, so 7 days of giveaways, all to celebrate my Quitiversary and also my 10-year blogiversary. So on Thursday, it's the 10-year anniversary of my blog being around, so my blog is officially 10 years old on Thursday. It's a big week. I'm very excited about everything going on, but I'm also wanting to just do lots of giveaways to celebrate how freaking awesome this week is. So if you're not in my Dream Life or Bust Facebook group, be sure to join so you can take part in all the freebie giveaways. There's 7 of them. I think 3 of them are for everybody, so everybody's going to get the freebie, and the other ones I'm going to actually be drawing winners. So you'll have somewhere everybody will get the freebie, and somewhere, only a couple of people will get it. The other thing is, if you aren't friends with me on my personal page, you can actually still go over to my personal page. So just click on my name, go over there. My name on my personal Facebook is Jennifer Blanchard Williams, so you can look me up. I'm doing a free Dream Life or Bust t-shirt giveaway. This is one of the t-shirts right here. So if you want to enter to win a free t-shirt, go to my personal Facebook page and find the post on there, because that's where you're going to go to actually try to win the t-shirt. So that is all the freebie stuff that's going on. I just wanted to let you guys know before I forget, because it is awesome, and I want you to, get the chance to participate as well. Okay, cool. So I'm going to dive into the 6 things. Feel free to make comments and ask questions along the way. And of course, I will definitely, answer them if you're watching as a replay. Hi, let's see. Hindsight is an amazing thing, Jennifer. I love listening to other people's lessons. Can save time if we pay attention, if it's relevant to our own journey. Absolutely. 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 So yeah, hopefully this stuff is something that helps you, and hopefully it's, something that you can use to cut frustration and time and just figuring stuff out on your own journey. Hopefully this will help you too. Okay, so these are not in any particular order, because I think they're all super important, but I'm just sort of listing them out because I, have to do that. So the very first thing, actually no, I would start at the top. So the first thing The number one thing I'm going to talk about tomorrow. So we're not even going to talk about number one today. We're going to go through 2 through 6 right now, and we'll talk about number 1 tomorrow, or 2 through 7 right now, technically, and we'll talk about 1 tomorrow. Anyway, okay, first thing, do you. That is something that I, for such a long time, did not take to heart, but it is absolutely the most freeing thing ever. Just do you. Now, what that means is be who you are. Show people who you really are, and just be okay with who you are and how you are. And don't try to pretend to be somebody else. Don't try to play down, your personality because you think you're not professional enough. Or I did that for such a long time. I mean, I can't even tell you how long, where I would do videos and I would be so perfect, and like I would script myself and I would get all fancied up. I would like do my hair, my makeup, and I would change my outfit like 6 times. And I just remember like how long it used to take me to make a video because it was scripted and I had to pay attention to the script, and then I had to remember it because I had to say it on the video, and it felt really robotic, and all of that shit does not matter. It is total nonsense. The most important thing when it comes to being successful online is that you be who you are and you just do you. Now, do you just means be who you are, and it means do what works for you. So rather than trying to do what everyone else is doing, rather than trying to follow someone else's, oh, these are the dots that I connected to get to this place, just do you. If you feel like, okay, this seems like something that would work for me, cool, try it. But if you feel like, I don't want to do that, doesn't look like it would feel good to me, or I just don't think that's something I would want to do, then don't. Absolutely 150% do you. So I wish I had had this lesson years ago, because I can't even tell you the amount of money I've invested in stuff trying to figure things out and trying to be somebody else because I thought that's what I had to be. And it's totally the thing that held me back for such a long time from just having freedom in my business especially, but even just feeling good all the time, is like trying to do what other people are doing or trying to replicate it, and then giving myself this like guilt trip because it didn't work. It's like, oh my God, but it worked for this person, it worked for this person, like why didn't it work for me? And you see my dog back here, he's roaming around on the chair. But it's so simple. Just do you. Whatever works best for you, whatever feels good to you, like just do you, and that's it. I wish I had that advice back then. And I probably, like I said, I wouldn't have listened probably, because I still would have convinced myself that, no, but I have to do this and this and that. No, just do you. So the day that I started to not script my videos, I started to not worry about if I was wearing pajamas or if I was wearing gym clothes or if I didn't have my makeup done. When I stopped worrying about all that shit and I just did what, felt true to me, whatever. I just do a live stream, even if I'm in my pajamas, even if I'm, coming back from the gym and I'm all sweaty. Like if I get an idea where I feel like I need to share this with people, I'm just going to share it now, and that's it. So do you. Just do whatever feels best to you, whatever works for you, and don't worry about all the other things going on, because if you try to be what other people are, or if you try to emulate what they're doing, or if you try to, replicate what they're doing, it's never going to work for you because it doesn't feel like you. So you just have to do what works for you and know that that's enough. That's something, actually a recent lesson for me. So within the last probably like 6 months, where I finally accepted that I'm just going to be me, and too fucking bad if people don't like it. And that's it. So, I mean, it's a good and bad thing, because yeah, some people will be repelled by you being you, but that's okay, because those aren't your people anyway. So the whole thing that you want is to be you, because that magnetizes more people who are like you to come to you, to want to follow you and read your stuff and pay attention to what you're doing. And then it pushes away the people who would never be interested in what you're doing anyway. Whereas when you be fake, or when you put on a front because you think you're supposed to be perfect, or you're supposed to script things, or you're supposed to do, whatever, then you actually attract the wrong people. So that's what was happening to me for so many years early on in my business, is that I was trying to be somebody that I actually wasn't. So I wasn't this totally put together, loves doing my hair and makeup every day and getting all dressed up. That wasn't who I am. Like, I did that for my day jobs because I had to, but who I really am is just, I like to lounge. I like to be relaxed and comfy, and if I'm not going anywhere, I don't feel like putting on makeup. Like, I don't want to. So rather than trying to force myself to be that person and then continuing to attract the wrong people, so people who thought that that's what they wanted, well, okay, but that's not really who I am. So I was getting all these like clients that just weren't really a fit for me, and I was working with these nightmare people who were just it was a disaster, but it all was because I wasn't being who I really am. It was because I was trying to be something that I thought I was supposed to be. So if you just do you, it changes everything, and it makes it so much easier for you to attract your actual ideal clients and for you to actually have fun in your business, which is one of the most important things, because if you're not having fun, then why the hell are you even doing this? So that is my one of my top 6. Okay, the next one, this is a good one, guys. Strategy doesn't matter. Listen, let me say that again. The strategy doesn't matter. So I cannot tell you how many thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'm talking like at this point probably $30,000, maybe even $50,000 that I've invested in my business into courses and workshops and coaches and all these things because I thought I needed to learn a certain strategy, or if I didn't learn that strategy, then I couldn't have the success that I want. So I just spent all this money trying to learn other people's strategies. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't have a strategy. You totally should. But the actual specifics of your strategy do not matter at all. Because the whole thing is when you're being who you really are and you're showing up as you and you're being yourself, then whatever strategy you use will work because you're magnetizing people based on your energy and based on being who you are, and not based on a specific follow the dots, connect the pieces strategy. So there are tons of strategies out there, and you should definitely learn them because you do need to know how to make shit happen, obviously. But when you're trying to follow a strategy that someone else is doing, it's not going to work because you're not doing you, you're doing them. And so that for me was a huge lesson. In fact, I had to learn that lesson twice. I learned it once and then somehow I forgot it, and so then I had to learn it again. But the second time, it slapped me in the face so freaking hard that I refused to not learn it the second time. So the second time, I invested $10,000 in a workshop that I did not need at all, spent all that money, went to this workshop, didn't learn anything. I mean, met some cool people, definitely connected with a bunch of really great people, but didn't learn anything strategy-wise that was any different than what I already knew. But I did connect with some good people. So again, everything I feel like, even though it feels like it wasn't the right choice or it was maybe a mistake, quote unquote, something good always comes out of it. So that's another lesson on top of everything, a bonus one that I wasn't going to even include, but it's true. Everything happens for a reason. So even if you make a bad investment, even if you find out later that, oh, I didn't need that strategy or this wasn't right for me, there's always something good you can take from it. So for me, it was the people. I connected with some great people. I'm still friends with them today. I've had a lot of opportunities that happened from being at that workshop. So I was invited to speak on a bunch of different podcasts and telesummits and all this stuff. And that probably wouldn't have happened if I didn't invest the money and go to that workshop. But I did not need the strategy piece. I actually joined that workshop out of fear. I joined out of fear because I thought I didn't know enough. I wasn't enough. What I already knew at this point, I just didn't feel like I could actually get to where I wanted to go. But the whole thing is, once I went through the workshop and realized they were teaching me shit that I already knew, it finally made me, like I said, it like boom, slapped me right across the face. Like, you know this shit already, Jen. You don't need this workshop. But at that point, it was too late. So I was already in the workshop and I had already paid the money. So lesson learned. But the whole thing was that it made me see that the strategy doesn't matter because I was doing a lot of the stuff they were already talking about. And some of it was working for me and some of it wasn't working for me. So the strategy doesn't matter because that exact strategy worked fine for them, but it didn't work fine for me. So again, this kind of goes back to my point before, which is do you. It all sort of ties together, but the strategy doesn't matter. So when you show up as you and you do things as you and you be who you are, you will magnetize people with your energy, and it doesn't matter what you're doing. So maybe you've heard people say like, oh, if you want to be successful online, you have to do live streams, or you have to do video, or you have to whatever. Well, none of that shit's actually true. So yeah, maybe those are options and things you could do, but you don't have to do them. And the most important thing really is that you connect with who you are and you ask yourself, does this feel like something that I actually want to be doing? Now, not out of the, okay, I'm a little bit nervous, but I feel like it's exciting and I would like to do it, or does it feel like, no, just straight up, I do not want to do that. Because if you don't actually want to do something, you're not going to do it. That's it. And then the strategy won't work anyway. So the best thing for strategy is to find the pieces that feel the best to you, that feel like you, and then you're okay. So like for me, I really enjoy doing video. Live streams was something I had to work my way up to because they're not easy. They're scary sometimes, you know. Even now, I do these all the time. I still get nervous sometimes hitting go live because it's like, oh my God, I'm live and whatever happens right now, I'm live, you know? So like if my dog walks in the background, everybody sees it. If my dog barks, everybody hears him. It's live. So that's the thing. It's uncontrollable. But at the same time, it's a really good way to connect with your audience, and it's a really fun way to get good at being on camera and being on video. So for me, this was something I wanted to get better at, even though it was scary to me. Whereas, you know, there are other things that people recommend doing where I'm like, no, I wouldn't have fun with that. It doesn't seem like anything that I would even want to spend my time on, so why force yourself to do it? The strategy does not matter. What matters is that you do what feels good to you, that you do what feels like you, and that's it. Because any strategy can get you there. The actual steps do not matter. If you miss a step, you're not going to completely, make your life a disaster. You're not going to make your business fall apart if you miss a step. Like, none of that shit really matters. And that's the thing that I've finally realized, is that just get yourself to a place where you feel good every day, you're in alignment every day, and then take action from there in whatever way feels best to you, and that's it. So that's why today I thought I was going to write this as a blog post originally, and then I tried to do that, but then I thought, you know what? I'm just going to talk it out because that's easier right now. So that's what I did instead. So the strategy does not matter. Okay, next thing. This one's a good one too. They're all good ones, but this is another good one. The numbers do not matter. Let me say this again. I'm going to repeat these because they're freaking important. The numbers do not matter. So you've probably heard this a lot. People talk about if you want to be, if you want to grow a business online, if you want to be successful, if you want to make money, you got to have a huge following. You got to have an email list with 10,000 people on it. You've got to, whatever things they tell you have to do. You have to have this many people on your email list because, people convert at a 3% rate. So if you don't have enough people, then you won't convert them enough and you won't make enough sales and all this, nonsense about the numbers. Guess what? It's bullshit. The numbers do not matter. And here's a really good example of why. So last year, I have an email program called Active Campaign. So when I log into the account, it shows me at the top how many people are subscribed to my email list. So when I would log in, it would show me 6,500 people, right? So 6,500 people, it would show me. So I would send my emails out, and I was thinking this whole time, I have 6,500 people on my list that I'm sending these emails to. Well, then I just found out a few weeks ago that actually that number is total email subscribers that I've had over the course of the lifetime of my account. But not all those people are still subscribed to my email list, because actually there were several times where I started a brand new email list and people didn't resubscribe to it basically. So this was me saying, hey guys, I'm changing directions in my business or I'm pivoting, and if you don't want to come with me, that's cool. But if you do, here's the place to go resubscribe. But I didn't realize that the 6,500 was actually the number of people who had subscribed at some point, but not all of them were still actively subscribed. So it turned out that I only had 3,500 people on my email list, and they were active, meaning like I had at some point all of those people, but a lot of them had either trickled off over the years. And I mean, I've been doing this for a decade now, so there's a lot of people that maybe were interested in what I was doing before and then they aren't anymore. But the whole thing was I didn't even realize my email list was half the size of what I thought it was. And last year I made $80,000 and more than that even. I don't even know the specific number, but it was over $80,000. So if I can make $80,000 with an email list of 3,500 people and with not even having all those people open my emails, so maybe 500 to 600 people open my emails regularly. The rest of them open, now and then. So the whole thing is the numbers don't frickin' matter. If I can make that much money on an email list that small, the numbers don't matter. But we're taught so much that the numbers matter. And I know people who have less than that on their email list who make more money. So I know entrepreneurs who made 6 figures and they only have like 500 or 600 people on their email list. So numbers do not matter. Just because you look like you don't have a lot of subscribers or you don't have, enough people following you, that doesn't mean that you can't be successful. It doesn't mean you can't hit your goals, you can't make the money you want to make. None of the numbers actually matter. Because the other thing is, just because you don't have people, let's say, who've liked your post on Facebook or liked your page, doesn't mean they're not still seeing your stuff. Videos, especially when you do them, Facebook puts those into a place where people who want to see more videos, they show them this stuff based on things that they already like. So even if maybe someone isn't on your page, they might still find your video because of the fact that Facebook shows videos to people. So you just don't know how people are going to find you. So constantly focusing on the numbers and telling yourself, oh my God, if I don't have 500 people on my email list, it's not enough and I can't sell any books. And it's actually holding you back. The numbers don't matter. The numbers are irrelevant when it comes to success. So hopefully this helps you, because I know a lot of people get very hung up on the numbers, on thinking that, oh my God, if I don't have 100 people, if I don't have 500 people, then it's pointless. I shouldn't even send an email out. It doesn't matter. But it's like, nurture the people you have. So even if you have 10 people, send them emails regularly, talk to them, share what you've got to share, let them know how you can help them, whatever it is you're doing, because those people are paying attention. So rather than worrying about, oh my God, I need more people, just take care of the people you already have. And then from there, you can grow. But like, don't focus so much on thinking that it has to be about the numbers, because it doesn't. The numbers do not matter at all. That to me is amazing, because I talk to a lot of online marketers, especially, like I said, in the workshops I've joined or things I've invested in, where they constantly say things like, it's all about the numbers. It's all about the numbers. If you get enough people, then you'll convert at a certain percentage. You'll make a certain amount of money. Great. Yeah, it's cool if you want to just have a business where you connect dots and freaking don't even care. But for me, I have a passion business. My business is not just based on me wanting to make money, because if that was the case, I could just have a job. I don't need to have a business to make money. I can get a job. I can do something else. My business is a passion business. It's here because I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. It's fun for me. And because I feel that my purpose in this world is to help people, and in whatever way that I can. So for me, my business is way more than about the numbers. So for so long, I made it about the numbers. Oh my God, I have to get more followers. I have to get more. No, it's not about the numbers. So hopefully that helps you guys, because that was something I struggled with for a freaking long time. Okay, back to the list. The next one, and this, again, they're all important. They're all important, but hopefully as we start going down the list, they start getting more and more important as we go, because I think even though I didn't order them really, I feel like they're kind of falling automatically into importance level. But okay, so it's not about the numbers. And then, okay, so here's another one, big one that took me forever to finally learn, and I still, even a couple of months ago, did not know this. So in November, I finally decided that this was going to be true for me, and that was it, and I was done. And that is, if it's not a hell fuck yes, it is a no. Straight up. If it is not a hell fuck yes, it is a no. Now, what I mean by that is, if someone comes to you and wants to work with you, if you get an idea for something that you could create, or something you could write, or a book idea or something, the first thing you need to ask yourself is this a hell fuck yes? Now, what that means is, every ounce of your being, every piece of your energy feels like, yes, this is so awesome. I'm so freaking excited. I'm pumped up. This is a hell yes for me. If you don't feel that way, then it's a no. It took me way too long to find this in my business. So I can't even tell you how many clients that did not feel hell yes to me, that I said yes to just because I needed the money, or because I thought I needed to work with every single person who came to me, that I couldn't say no. Well, I ended up working with some fucking nightmare people, like people who drained my energy, people who gave me the runaround, people who made it so much harder to work with them. It was a nightmare. When I stopped doing that and I finally said, you know what, if it's not a hell fuck yes, it's a no, I became so much happier, first of all, but I ended up with people who are actually aligned with the work that I do, and who are actually clients who show up on time, who do the work that I tell them to do, who are getting the results. They're not complaining. They're not making excuses. So huge, huge thing there. And I had, again, this was another one of those lessons that I had to get like bitch slapped on, because I continued to say yes to things that were not a hell fuck yes. So last summer I said yes to a writing project that I did not want to say yes to. In fact, I said no the first time, and I actually stuck, I'm going to say no. But then I went back on it because the person came back to me and they were like, oh, but what about this and this and this? And finally I was just like, fine, I'll do it. Bad idea. That project has just been such a drain for me. So don't do that to yourself. Say no unless it's a hell fuck yes. I know it's hard, especially if you're just starting out, because you think, oh my God, I just need to get experience. I need clients. Doesn't matter. If I could go back to the beginning and tell myself this, it would have made things a lot easier for me. If it's not a hell fuck yes, it is a no. Also, that makes you have free time for other things. So if you're not constantly saying yes to every little thing that comes your way, or every client that comes your way, then it leaves space for the right clients, the right projects, the right books. So don't tell yourself, or don't convince yourself of the bullshit that you have to say yes to everybody. You don't. Just because someone wants to work with you does not mean that they get to. They may be interested in working with you. You may have a conversation with them or whatever. But if it doesn't feel like a hell fuck yes, then it's a no. And that's it. Just, if it's not a hell fuck yes, it's a no. That is one I wish I had taken on much, much longer ago, because I did not officially take that on until November of 2017 when I launched Dream Life or Bust, my new version of my business. And when I decided that I'm living my dream life now in whatever way I want to, and if it doesn't feel like a hell fuck yes, then it's a no. Even if I'm struggling in the moment, even if I need money, whatever, it's still a no. And it's been hard because one of the things that I stopped doing last year officially is private story coaching. So I'm no longer doing private story coaching. If people want to work with me on their stories, they can still contact me about it, and I offer them the option to join my workshop, Write Your Damn Novel, and get email support. So it's a slightly different version of how I was coaching before. So before, I was getting on the phone with people every week. I was having to spend tons of time going through all their stuff. And it was great at the time, but I just got to a place where I got really burned out, and I also realized that I wanted to make a bigger impact. And I couldn't do that working one-on-one with too many people. So I had to stop that. And I tried to stop in 2016, and then I went back on it in 2017 because so many people kept coming to me. And so I just kept saying yes, because, I want to help people. That's why I do this business, because I care and I want to help people. But I also have to realize that I have to be helping myself at the same time. So if it's something that doesn't feel like a hell fuck yes, then it's going to be a drain on my energy to do it. So finally, in November, when I launched this business, I said to myself, this is it. I'm done with story coaching. I'm not doing any more private story coaching, and that's it. And I've had to stick to it. So I've had several people come to me over the last few months asking for story coaching services. And the old me would have said yes, would have, figured out how to help them. But instead, I said, I no longer do private story coaching. If you want to join my workshop, that's a group thing, you can do that. Otherwise, here's another coach you can contact. And that's it. Not only has my business been a lot more fun that way, but I haven't had to do any projects that didn't feel fun to me or that didn't feel like a hell fuck yes. Now, yeah, that did mean that my income took a drop for a few months because saying no to people, that were wanting story coaching, and that's not what I'm offering anymore, that definitely made my income drop a little bit. But the temporary income drop was worth it to not have that feeling of hating my business or hating the work I'm doing. I didn't have that. For the last, 5 months, 6 months, things have felt flowing. They felt awesome. I feel like all the projects I'm working on are freaking exciting and cool. So if it's not a hell fuck yes, it's a no. That's it. And you don't have to have a reason for it. It's just, it doesn't feel right to you. It's a no. That's it. Plain and simple. Okay, next one. This is a good one too. They're all good ones, like I said. This is going to be a scary one for most people. It took me a lot of years to get here. I'm still not there 100%, but I'm getting better at it. And that is, do not worry or be afraid of offending people. Do not worry or be afraid about offending people. Huge, huge important thing. Because when you run a business, the biggest mistake people make is thinking that they're trying to attract everybody. You're not. You're not trying to attract everybody. You don't want everybody, because if you have everybody, you're going to have people who aren't actually a good fit for you. So you have to be willing to go out there, speak your truth, share your message, be authentic to who you are. And if it offends somebody, who the fuck cares? It doesn't matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. So I get reminders of this all the time, because for such a long time, I refused to say certain things or talk about certain topics because I didn't want to offend anybody. I didn't want to piss anybody off. I didn't want to get any hater comments. But over the last year or two, I've just realized it doesn't matter, because the more I don't say the things that I actually feel, the more I don't speak my truth, the more I attract the wrong people. And the wrong people, number one, are never going to sign up for anything you offer, are never going to pay you for anything, or if they do, they're going to be a fucking nightmare to work with. So don't do this to yourself. Don't be afraid of offending people. You are not trying to attract everybody. In fact, you're only trying to attract your ideal people, and you want to repel everybody else. And how you repel them is by speaking your truth and sharing your message. The people who get it are going to be like magnetized to you. They're going to love what you have to say. They're going to completely agree with you. And the ones who don't will be repelled. They'll leave. They'll stop following you. They'll get off your email list. They'll stop bugging you about working with them. They'll just be gone. Now, you might get some comments, I don't agree, blah, 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 whatever. That shit doesn't matter either. Don't be worried about offending people. So and I just actually got a reminder of this morning. So this morning, and the weird thing was it was on a really old post. So last year, mid last year, maybe end of last year, I wrote a post on my personal Facebook page, about the whole, women's healthcare thing, the whole birth control, women's healthcare movement. And I just wrote my opinion. I spoke my piece on it, and that was it. And then at the end, I wrote, P.S. I'm not here to have a debate. I'm just sharing my opinion. So if you have an opposing view, please just keep scrolling because I don't want to hear it. Because that was the whole thing. I wasn't inviting people to have a conversation about it. I was just saying, this is my opinion, and that's it. I was just stating it. Most of the comments I got were great. I agree with you, whatever. People were excited. I love how you speak your truth. But this morning, and like I said, this post was so old, I don't even know how this person found it. But this morning I got a post or a comment on that post, from someone who was like, well, I'm a prospective client, parentheses, well, I was, but I'm just going to do what you said and keep scrolling and find somebody else. First of all, for like a millisecond, it made me go, oh my God, like, what did I say? I should like apologize, because that's the old reaction. The old reaction is, oh my God, I can't offend people. I shouldn't offend people. But that's the old reaction. The new reaction is, I don't care if I offend people, because the right people will never be offended. And all I care about is the right people. I don't want people who would get offended by the things I say. I want the right people. So I want the people who speak, who understand my message, who relate to it, who resonate with it, because that's how you create a soulmate community of people who are just like you are. If you try to attract everybody, then you get people who do things like that, who make comments like that. Those are not your people. Someone who wants to work with me would not be offended by something that I had to say. If they did, then they're not really the right person. So when I first saw that comment, like I said, for a millisecond, I got that feeling that I used to get, like, oh my God, I shouldn't offend anybody. There's something, I shouldn't say that stuff. But then I remembered, oh yeah, wait, it doesn't matter. I can offend people if I want to. It doesn't matter. This is not saying offend people because you're trying to offend people. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying go out there and start saying really fucked up shit to make people feel bad. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is share your real opinion on stuff. Speak your actual truth. Be who you are. And if someone doesn't like it, too fucking bad. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying go out there and just be mean to be mean. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think that I say things that are mean, but I think sometimes people take it that way because they either get triggered by what I say or they just don't agree with it. And that's totally fine. Not everybody in the world has to agree with my version of things, but my ideal tribe will. And that's the whole point, is I'm not trying to attract everybody. I'm trying to attract my ideal tribe. So if you're here watching this right now and you're actually still watching, you're my ideal tribe. You are someone who resonates with my message and with me and my energy. So you're someone I want to have here, who, I want to be having a conversation with, versus someone who would comment that. I mean, that just made me laugh. So the other thing was, I thought, well, first of all, you don't get to decide if you're a prospective client. I decide that. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, if you're offended by what I said, then I wouldn't work with you anyway. Period. Because I'm only working with hell fuck yes people. So right there, you're not a hell fuck yes because you're making comments about stuff that I don't agree with. So anyway, super, super important. Do not be afraid to offend people, because you know what? People always get offended. It doesn't matter what you say. There will always be someone who doesn't agree with it. So rather than worrying about, am I going to offend somebody? Is somebody going to not like this? Doesn't matter. Speak your truth. Share your real opinion on the things that matter to you. Now, this isn't to say you have to get involved in every conversation. You don't. I don't touch politics. I hate politics. I have no opinion on it because I just don't care. So I don't talk about politics. That's just something I stay away from. Totally, one of the topics I just don't want to talk about. But if I did have an opinion to share, I would share it, and that's it. And I wouldn't care if someone got offended by it, because that's it. I don't care. But you have to be, and it takes time. So like I said, back 6 years ago, if I had been told this, I still wouldn't have spoke my truth on a lot of the stuff. Because I still would have been afraid that, oh my God, people are going to get offended and they're not going to like me. You're not trying to be liked by everybody. You're just trying to be liked by the people who are actually resonating with you. And the people who resonate with you will automatically like you because they think you're great. You have something about you that reminds them of how they are or what they think, or you inspire them to want to be like you or to want to have something like what you have. So rather than hiding and not talking about the stuff that matters to you, take a stand on something. Be, out there on a topic that matters to you and really share what you actually think, because that's how you magnetize the right people. But don't worry about offending, because it will happen and it doesn't matter if it does. So Really key thing there was huge for me. Okay, and then the sixth thing I'm going to share with you guys today, like I said, I have one more that I'm going to share, but I'm not going to share it till tomorrow because I have a totally badass freebie that's going with the thing I'm sharing, and so I'm going to keep that for tomorrow. But the last thing I wanted to share today is probably, besides what I'm going to tell you guys tomorrow, the most important thing. Like, if you ignore everything else I said on this live stream and you just did this one thing, it would still make a huge difference for your business and your life, and that is have a daily mindset and energy practice. Every single day, no matter what. So when I first started my business, and I started as a side hustle, so I was still, working a day job and all of that, I didn't have a mindset practice. I was doing morning pages, actually. That was one of the only things I was doing at the time. And then I started doing a daily visualization and meditation. And I honestly really believe that those two things were what finally pushed me out of my day job. Before that, I felt like I was just stuck in this negative mindset and negative focus. But when I started to do the morning pages every day and I started to visualize every day, I really feel like that is what aligned me with the actions and the opportunities and the things I needed to finally quit my job 6 years ago today, yay, that now got me to this point. But I did not have a consistent daily mindset practice until August 2015. So August 2015, I started a daily mindset practice. I've done it every single day since then. Now, I might have had 1 or 2 days over the last couple of years where I didn't do it, but for the most part, it is every single day. I do something. Even on the busy days when I don't have a lot of time, I still do something. So whether it's a meditation, a visualization, right now I've got a pretty complicated practice that takes me about an hour to do, but I don't care because I know that time is well spent on making my energy and my mindset aligned with where I want to go and the goals that I have. So for me, it's completely time well spent. But when I first quit my job, you wouldn't have caught me spending an hour on my mindset because at that time, I still believed that shit didn't matter, or I still believed that it mattered, but that I didn't have time to spend time on my mindset and my energy because I had to hustle. I had to make money. I had to get clients. I had to do all this actual, practical steps in my business. And I let the mindset piece be a side note. Well, it's actually backwards. The mindset piece matters way more. So like I said earlier in this training, the strategy does not matter. That none of the actual what you do matters. If you have your mindset in the right place, your energy in the right place, whatever action you take will work because your mindset and your energy are aligned with the direction you want to go. Whereas when you feel like shit, when you don't have a mindset practice, when you still have old limiting beliefs getting in the way, it doesn't matter if you have the best strategy in the world, it's not going to work because your mindset and your energy are putting you in a place where it's just not going to work. And so when you get your mindset and your energy in the right place, it doesn't matter what action you take, it's going to work because you're in that high vibe state. So that's why I say, just do you. Don't worry about strategy. Don't worry about numbers. And constantly focus on your mindset practice. 5 minutes a day can change your entire life. 10 minutes a day, even more so. When I started out, it was 5 to 10 minutes a day, and that's it. No big deal. First thing in the morning when I first wake up, and then I would just move on with my day. Now, it's still first thing in the morning after I first get up, but it's a bigger part of my morning. So now I actually have a rule where I do not do anything work-related until 1 p.m. I know, that's crazy. Oh my God. I spend my whole morning just doing whatever I feel like doing. I spend it reading. I spend it doing my mindset practice, my energy stuff. I listen to Abraham Hicks a lot in the mornings. I do tapping videos, like whatever I feel like doing. That's what I spend my mornings doing. I get my energy in the right place. I get myself aligned in the right place. And then from there, whatever actions I take not only become easier, but then they actually work better because of the fact that I got my energy and my mindset in the right place from the beginning. So that's, what I would say to you guys. And just to go back through the 6 that I mentioned, do you. The strategy doesn't matter. It's not about the numbers. If it's not a hell fuck yes, it's a no. Don't worry or be afraid of offending people, and work on your mindset and your energy every single day. So those are my 6 for you guys right now. And like I said, I have one more that I'm going to share tomorrow. Actually, I may have 2 more for tomorrow because I just realized in my notes here that I totally skipped one that's super important, but I also kind of feel like it goes along with the thing I'm going to mention tomorrow. So we'll just talk about that tomorrow. So like I said, hopefully this helps you. For me, this is game-changing stuff. This is the stuff that actually matters. All the rest of the shit is just what is, whatever. The actual strategy doesn't matter. The actual marketing plan, none of that stuff matters. Get your energy in the right place. Get your mindset in the right place. Don't worry about offending people. Don't focus on the numbers. Don't worry about any of that shit. Just get yourself in the energy state that you need to be in. Get yourself aligned with it. And then take action from that place. And if you do that, you can do no wrong. Even if it feels like it's not working. Because I know sometimes it feels like it's not working. But it is. One of my favorite authors, Mike Dooley, always says that we have no idea what's actually happening and how much is actually happening for us behind what he calls the curtains of time and space. So basically, in the unseen, the energetic world that we live in, we have no idea how much shit is already working for us, how many connections are being lined up, how many opportunities are being lined up. But we just can't see them yet because they haven't physically manifested in our reality. So the whole thing is to just trust that if you just keep going and you keep taking action, that it will eventually work. And I'm to that place. So I'm not where I thought I would be. In 5-6 years, I thought I was going to be way further along than I am right now. And honestly, if I had these 6 tips back then, I probably would be. So hopefully you'll take these to heart, use them in your own life and business, and just realize that you never ever have to do anything more than just be who you are, because being who you are is enough. It's more than enough. It's plenty. And that for me was such a huge, huge realization, because for me, and I say this a lot, but for me, my core inner demon is not good enough. I grew up feeling not good enough. I was bullied my whole life, including by people who were related to me. So it was very hard for me growing up thinking that I had something wrong with me, thinking that being who I am was not enough, because if I would be who I am, there might be people who don't like it, or there might be, and I have to make everybody like me, and you don't. You just have to get the people who are actually meant to be your followers and be your community to get to know you. But they can't get to know you if you're not being who you really are. So that for me was huge realization, and knowing that I can just be who I am and that it's okay. Kind of scary, but also for me very freeing. In November, like I said, I launched Dream Life or Bust, and that for me was very fucking scary, because it was me basically, what I felt in my heart, what I felt was me going out on like a platform and being like, this is who I am, putting a stake in the ground and being like, this is who I am, this is what I stand for, this is my message to the world. It's scary. It's very scary. See, I said the dog barking. It's scary to do that, but also it's freeing, because now I have a business that I actually love. I love everything about it. I love everything I'm working on. I love all the people I'm working with, and I know it's only going to get better from here. So please take to heart the stuff I've said here, because it will make a huge difference for you. And if you, try any of this stuff, if you experience any of it in your own business, I would love to hear from you on how it goes. So feel free to share. Like I said, this is Dream Life or Bust week. Lots of freebies going on. So if you're not in my free Facebook group, Dream Life or Bust, go join it right now. We have 7 days of giveaways going on. I have a bonus giveaway happening right now on my personal Facebook page. So if you aren't friends with me on Facebook, you can find me, Jennifer Blanchard Williams. That's my personal Facebook page. I'm doing a t-shirt giveaway for Dream Life or Bust t-shirt. This is one of them right here for anyone who's not familiar. You just have to go to my personal Facebook page to find the post, and there's instructions on what to do to get into the drawing. Let's see what else. Yeah, I think that's all the free stuff going on. And like I said, tomorrow I have a seriously badass freebie happening that everybody gets access to, and I'm going to do another video telling you about the other thing, most important thing, but also there's 2 of them now, because I just remembered another one that I wanted to mention, but I forgot. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. If you don't already like this Facebook page or follow it, be sure to do that so you get notified when I go live. That's it for me right now, guys. Let me just check your comments real quick. I don't want to miss anybody's questions if you had any. Love the freedom being your own boss gives you. I'm so grateful to be able to choose who I work with. Absolutely. Absolutely. And when I first started out, I didn't give myself that freedom, because I thought like, oh, I just say yes to everybody. But now I know better. So now I know that you shouldn't say yes to everybody, that you should only say yes to the hell fuck yes people. And anybody who feels like, there's something off about this, or I feel a red flag, or trust that shit. Trust it and take take it off the table. Tell yourself that you're going to trust your gut. Whatever gut feel you get about somebody, you're just going to trust it, and that's it. I don't think you're the right client for me. I know it's hard sometimes, especially when you're first starting out, because you need money. Obviously, if you're just starting a business, it's hard to start a business if you're not making any money. So it's easy to get yourself into that mode where you think, I just have to say yes to everybody, but you don't. And not saying like, yeah, okay, maybe you want to say yes to some people to get some practice, fine. But for me, the best way to do that, in my opinion, is to give some free coaching away or free whatever you do to get the right people in and not say yes to the wrong people, even if they're paying you. So that would, if I could go back and start over, that's what I would do, is I would do free coaching for a bunch of people who I felt like were my ideal people, get a bunch of testimonials, get a bunch of, having them actually achieve results. And then I would start charging for my services from that place, knowing what I was already good at, knowing what I've already helped people with, and not having to say yes to people who didn't feel like a hell yes. So, and again, it's hit or miss. So when you're in business, you're going to have some people who are wrong and some people who are right. So I've worked with a ton of writers over the last 6 years. I mean, the last decade too, but just the last 6 years full time. I've worked with a ton of writers. Most of them were the right people, but there were definitely several who were not. So my lesson learned, like I said, I got bitch slapped on that one, but that one is a big lesson. If it's not a hell fuck yes, it's a no. So anyway, okay, thanks for sharing these points. So good. Oh, you are so welcome. And hopefully this video is helpful. Like I said, I know a lot of you are going to watch as a replay once I send it to my email list. So if you have additional questions or anything, just let me know. Go to the Dream Life or Bust Facebook group if you're not already in it, and get yourself in on these free giveaways because they're awesome. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to do, like I said, another video, and I'm going to introduce a badass new freebie that I have coming out. So stick around, and I'll catch you guys next time.